Hello there, we're back on our flex truck today.
Black and dead, black and dead blue. The black of down and rocket issue American government issue. Black and dead, black and dead, black and dead blue.
And we got some parts in that we've been waiting for. Crossing our fingers, we might finish that passenger side turbo cooler. What else? We got AC lines, we got... oh, I don't even know. It's too early. We're gonna get some stuff done today. Hopefully no bloodshed or tears to do it. Alright, the thing that has been eluding me is getting this turbo tube on here right. And so I bought this 45 bend here. And so far, that looks nice for our heater hose. We just got to get it hooked up to the front here. I had a 45 on the other side that I was using. I bought another one because it seemed to be a good idea on this side. So let's see what we got. This is our 45 and it reduces to our intercooler size. This intercooler was out of a transit van, whoever makes those, Dodge or Mercedes, or to hook it up there, that would hook up, but we're kind of lessening our way there. So if we're able to cut back both sides here, it's kind of looking a little better. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if we should try to put that V right where that is. It's not an exact 45. This could be up just a touch more, but the flexibility in the connectors will help us out. So where's my marker? I'm thinking we cut it here. Here. That might be a little long, but she says a little long is better than too short. And as I showed in my other video, we'll give our ends a flare, bubble flare, with our bead roller. So, let's get this on the chop saw and do some bubble flaring. Now with all our good work, see if it fits. Well, I don't know if it's perfection, but it's pretty darn good. It's going to have a nice flow there, you know, not a bunch of craziness. No real harsh angles. I'm sure we'll powder coat these some color. Maybe paint the motor the blue of the truck and do all the tubing the white of the two-tone. I think that's pretty good. Now, we got our AC lines in this area kind of figured out and where they're going. We got our heater lines figured out and where they're going, because they were coming down the top there and we would have to cross over by the exhaust somewhere, and I really didn't want to do that. And so those are in a good location now. I got these little 90-degree pre-bends, and then I had to put a little splice in there, but I used a nice barbed splice, brass, not freaking plastic like they like to sell you. We also, the previous owner of the chassis bent up the dipstick tube real bad, so I got a new one of those, and that's right in our exhaust area where I'm kind of concerned and want to get everything figured out. We got our batteries under the floor there, so the exhaust is going to go underneath that. I just looked up some different transmission cooler lines that'll adapt into those fittings on this Allison. So I found some hydraulic fitting, like a JIC hydraulic style fitting, and then we'll put an oil cooler with a fan underneath the frame or underneath the cab on the opposite side, so it's away from the exhaust, because we're just running out of room up here. These are a few of the pieces that I was waiting on that we ordered last week. It's a bulkhead for the AC lines and the heater core. They make another style where they have a screw-on piece that goes on this, and then you slide your heater hose on. I feel that it's just redundant and you have another place that could leak. So I like just these barbed fittings because you're gonna have to go over a barbed fitting anyways. AC lines. We'll be putting that on the firewall. Other things I ordered were these two fills for the AC, the high and low side fills. The reason I got remote ones is because we can't get down here to have the fills on the compressor. It'd be really hard to get to. I'm gonna put one of these down on the hose down on the bottom here, which is a little bit abnormal, but I'm gonna face it down and you'll be able to cut right up from underneath the truck and get to it. Other one is going to be right up here next to our bulkhead, and that's the other easy location to be able to get to on this to do your fill. Got the Nutrans dipstick, which wasn't as expensive as I thought it might be, or I was worried it wasn't going to be so available because it's not a wear out item. Other thing I got was this 90 from Northern radiator to try to get out of that radiator in this tight area that we got with all this mess that we have right here. We're just getting so much shit right in this area. That's why I took the AC lines down and around. Usually they'd come through here, but we had so much stuff going on here already that I just wanted to avoid it. Plus, it'll have a little cleaner look under the hood than having the AC lines running down the inner fender well. Now they're tucked underneath the motor, which the compressor's down there anyway, so it worked out. All right, I'm gonna try to show you kind of what we're dealing with on this lower radiator hose. It's kind of coming straight out. There is a little bit of room right here, but that doesn't really help us. If I had this just welded on the radiator, that would work. Having this on the end of this is too far into our pulleys. It's actually not touching anything right there, but there's absolutely no way you're going to get a hose on that. So where I'd like it to be is about there, and probably pointed something like that. I kind of like the idea of it having a hose on the piece here to where you can loosen up the two clamps there and clock it differently for a different hose, because getting the hose on this is going to be interesting anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down both of these. I think I'm going to cut it right here and right here. It's not an excellent option, but if we get into too much trouble, we'll weld it on there. I'm not the best aluminum TIG welder. I'd hope to have somebody else weld it, but I haven't had much luck with anybody doing anything for me lately, so might just weld it myself. I was just thinking, you know, this is a solution. You might have an issue with cutting on your brand new $1,000-some radiator and wondering if this idea is going to work, or if it's going to have different issues, if this did need that bubble flare, if this is going to pop off, you know, what if. But my suggestion is to grow a pair, get your saw, and cut the damn thing off. You know, anything that can be cut off on this metal can be welded back on. So just get over it and cut your new stuff. If you have a problem with cutting and you know, buying something and, you know, using half of it, cutting half of it off and only using half of it, or buying some aftermarket part and not having it fit exactly, then you're not ready for this. You need to be perfectly comfortable with cutting every aftermarket part you buy, because it's not going to fit, I guarantee that.
Black and dead, black and blue. The black and down, the market issue, American government issue. Black and dead, black and blue.